If then your screen is not visible properly, can you go to the presentation first mode, first page?
Yeah.
Now, fine.
Is it better now?
Yes.
I still see we have a few people still joining in from the lobby, so we will start in another minute. Thank you for your patience. I guess, Shubham Nirmal, we will start. It's almost 3 minutes past the due time.
Sure, then we can start.
Okay. Thank you. And Shubham, can you please confirm the video
Yes,
is, I mean, you can see my presentation, right? In the
we
presentation.
can. We can see.
Okay, I guess then we are good to go. So, good morning, good afternoon, everyone, for joining for today's session. This is a session on the latest e-way bill legal changes which have been announced by the government in May and June. And uh, before we start, we are from the Globalization Services based out of SAP Labs, Bangalore. And during the next 45 minutes, we will be discussing and demoing the new changes which are coming in and how they are impacting our solution. So, before we start with the session, just the general disclaimer. This is the information in this presentation is confidential, and some of these statements which we will be making are forward-looking. So please exercise due diligence when if you share this information based on the today's session. The agenda for today's session is something like this. We can look at it in four parts. The first part is where we discuss what the changes are all about, the legal changes which have been announced by the GSTN. This will be followed by a short system demo wherein we will see how the system behaves now once these changes have been incorporated. Then we will also discuss the configurations which we need to make in the system to deploy or implement these changes. And finally, we will have some time for Q&A and feedback. Please also notice, at the top of your screen, you will also have in the MS Teams, you will have a Q&A tab over there. So while we are doing this presentation, while we are demoing, while we are discussing, please feel free to post your queries in the Q&A tab. We are monitoring that and we will try to respond to those queries. So let's talk about the legal changes. What are the legal changes which are announced by the GSTN or by the tax authorities? So primarily, the change is impacting the bill to ship to scenario, wherein the field which relates to the ship to GSTIN is now a mandatory field for e-way bill generation. And in case the consignee is unregistered, in that case, the value which needs to be passed is the URP. Now, this applies to two or three set of transactions. There is the bill to ship to transactions. Then there are the transactions which involve both bill to ship to as well as bill from, dispatch from. And then there is also an impact on the export transactions. These changes are applicable either when I'm generating IRN and e-way bill together, or also in case I am generating e-way bill using IRN. And the date for implementation of this change is 1st of August. Initially, the date was announced to be 15th of June. But based on the representations from the industry, from GSPs and ASPs, the date has been pushed to 1st of August now. In terms of the change, the impact of this change on the APIs or the payload which we need to make to generate the e-way bill. Now, in case I'm generating IRN and e-way bill together, the ship details GSTIN is made mandatory wherever I'm providing the ship to details. And in case I am generating e-way bill based on IRN, in that case, under export ship details, the GSTIN has been added as a mandatory field. There is also another field, which is the trade name field, which has been added, but this is an optional field. So even if you don't pass any value in this, it will be, you will still be able to generate your e-way bill. Another impact is for the APIs or the payload for the export e-way bill bills. So in export related scenarios, where no domestic registered ship to GSTIN is generally applicable, URP will be passed as a value in the ship to GSTIN field. So these are broadly the three changes which we are looking at, which will be effective from 1st of August of this year. Now, if I look at the timeline, how these changes have come about. So just a brief, just to give you some idea as to how these changes have been announced. So initially, these changes were announced on 20th or 21st of May, wherein an initial GSTN advisory was issued, making ship to GSTIN mandatory for ship to build to scenarios. And the go live was set for 15th of June. Then the GSTIN extended this date from 15 June to 1st of August. On 9th of June, they announced that these dates will be revised to 1st of August. And then on 17th of June, there was another advisory, which was a more detailed advisory and which talked about the INN based flows. What is the impact in terms of the APIs? Then 1st of July, we have had an FAQ issued by GSTN, wherein they have discussed more the different scenarios, the export scenario, and also the error codes which you might get in case, let's say, the GSTIN is not correctly passed or GSTIN is missing. And of course, the production go live date for this change is 1st of August 2026. So these changes will become effective on the production IRP systems from 1st of August 2026. Currently, if you are using the sandbox systems for the sandbox IRP system, there also these changes have been made applicable by the GSTIN. But on the production system, that is when this change is legally effective, 1st of August, this will also become effective from the on the production system. So we need to be ready before, of course, these dates. We need to test out these changes which have been issued, and we need to make the appropriate changes in terms of deploying these changes, and also as well as in updating the correct data in the masters in SAP. There is also another change which has been announced by the GSTM, which is related to a new facility to close the e-way bill. So now there is an option wherein you can mark an e-way bill as closed once the delivery has been made to the consignee, either the supplier or the recipient or the transporter or somebody who has been authorized by the e-way bill generator to via his by giving his mobile number. That person can also close mark an e-way bill as closed, and you can do it either via login into the portal login or via the there is also an option to do it via mobile. And this closure needs to be done either on the same day of delivery or on the immediately succeeding day. And you have the option either you can close the event bill either bill wise or date wise. Now this is not a legal change. This is an optional facility which the GSTN is introducing, and we are analyzing this new change. So this is one change. This new facility is still not it's not becoming available to you in SAP right away. This is still under analysis, and we might pick it up later on. So before we proceed with the demo of the legal change for the e-way bill, let me just take a little bit of a feedback from you in terms of this new optional e-way bill facility. So there are two small queries or the small polls which we have. I would request I would request you to please give your uh, give your feedback or inputs on this. So please join this Menti poll on your screen. I hope you can see my screen, wherein on the right side of the screen, you can see menti.com. There is a QR code. You can scan this QR code to join this Menti poll and give your inputs or feedback on this poll or on this survey. So I see about quite a few of you have joined in the poll. So the first poll is who would be sorry, this is actually the second question, but we can start with this. So who would be required to close the e-way bill in your organization? Would you be, as a supplier, taking the onus or the responsibility for closing the e-way bill for the e-way bills which are getting generated by you as a supplier? Or is it going to be the transporter whom you would make him responsible for closing the e-way bill? Or is it going to be the consignee? Or is it going to be the fourth person, the authorized person whose mobile number you will give at the time of e-way bill generation? So, uh, and when we say authorized person, this authorized person could be the could would not may not be, let's say, a person from your organization, but it could be a person, let's say, who is the transporter, and you are just giving his mobile number so that based on his mobile number he can close the e-way bill. So this is I see. Predominantly, I guess the idea is, from what I can take out from the survey so far, it is going to be that authorized person whose mobile number you plan to give in the e-way bill, who will be tasked with closing the e-way bill. So that was actually the one of the questions in the poll. There was another more basic question for the poll, which I will now go to, which is, does your organization plan to use e-way bill closure facility? Because this is an optional facility as of now. So what are your plans? Are you going to use it straight away? Or are you going to not use it right now? This is an optional facility, so there's no penalty. There's nothing from a compliance side which you need to do. I mean, which compels you to use this functionality. But yes, there are very obvious advantages of using that closure option. And yes, there is a third option, which is, of course, in case it becomes mandatory, then a lot of us would you like to wait till the government announces that this is becoming mandatory, and then we plan to use it, which is also approved adoption. So I see a lot of you have already responded. There's few people who are still to respond. So may I request uh, those people also to respond and give their feedback or inputs on this. Okay, so I mean, looks like the majority. I mean, a lot of people are of the opinion that once the government makes it mandatory, that's when they will like to go for using this closure facility. But yes, there's a substantial number of people who also think that this is something they would like to start using now, even before, let's say, the government makes it mandatory. So thank you for providing your feedback, for your inputs on this e-way bill closure facility. Coming back to the legal change, which was about the e-way bill changes. So now we will move to the to see the changes, how they are being done in this system. And I will request Nirmal to show his system and yeah, take us through the process.
Yeah. Thank you,
Thank
Faizan.
you, Faizan.
Am I audible?
Am I audible? Yes, Nirmal, we can hear you.
Okay. So
So
let's move on to
let's
the
move on to the
demo.
demo.
So as already Faizan has explained about the latest legal notification. Just a moment.
Is it echoing, Fazan, at your end?
No, for me it is coming out fine.
It was good.
I see a lot of the participants are using the chat. I would request you to please put in your queries or any questions you have in the Q&A so that I mean it is easier for us to to monitor and answer those.
Now is it fine?
Yes, it is fine for me.
Um, okay, so as per the latest legal notification, the ship to bill to ship to for the scenario, bill to ship to party. So now the GST, the ship to GST is mandatory. So I have created a document for the demo purpose. So this app is a managed electronic app. So where you can see under WayBill. So this is a document which I have created for the demonstration purpose. So how we'll identify it's a bill to ship to scenario. So if you go to the payload, so if you click on the display, so here you can see the transaction type as a two. So that means it's a bill to ship to transaction. And also below you can see now the ship to GSTN is already filled. Okay. So based on the latest legal notification, the ship to GSTN is now mandatory. So without sending this, the NIC will throw the error for e-way bill generation. So now I have filled all the part B details also. So all the part B details is filled. So now I'll just submit this document for the generation. So just see. Just submitting. See this. So now the e-way bill is generated with the ship to GSTN is sent. So this is for the first scenario where the ship to GSTN is mandatory. So now we have another scenario for the e-invoice node. So where the export scenario. So e-way bill can be generated in a three ways from the SAP delivered solution. One is from the e-way bill node, which you just saw. So another is from the e-invoice node. So whenever the e-invoice is generation happening, along with that, you can also generate the e-way bill. So, and one more way is once the e-invoice is generated, so using the submit more action, you can also generate the e-invoice, e-way bill. So after the e-invoice generation, you can submit the e-way bill generation also. So for that, I have created one document. So if you see this document, this is for the export scenario. So you can see the supply type is as export. Okay. So as part of e-invoice generation, so we are filling the ship to GSTN for the export scenario. So you can see the GSTN as filled as URP. So before this legal change, so the GSTN was not mandatory. So even if you are not implementing this solution, so the e-invoice generation for the export scenario will be blocked because this GSTN was not filling. So only if the GSTN is there, then we were filling. If the GSTN is not maintained, URP was not filling. So after this legal change, now this URP is getting filled, and you can see the port details is filled for the export scenario, and also the port ID and all is also filled. So and as Faizan shows, the trade name is also filled, which is an optional field. Okay. So let's go back. So I'll submit this document for the generation, for e-invoice generation. So just wait. So just wait for the response. It is taking little time, just will wait. Since we are showing in a live system, so there may be some technical error. So for this, I'm just reloading it. Just wait. Okay. So you can see this is requested for invoice generation. So I'll do the get service status. So you can see now the invoice is generated successfully. Okay. So the third way which I was explaining, once the e-invoice is generated, so we have an option to generate a e-bill using the submit mode. So for that, we have to enter all the part B details.
It seems to be some issue in our internal system. Like as it's a development system, some development is slowing down. So let's see if the screen is loading.
So if you fill the part B details and if you submit it, so that the payload looks like this for the submit more details. So these two are the new field which is introduced. This is the field GSTN as a part of export ship to details. So with this, the URP is going to send to the NIC and e-bill will be successfully generated from the e-invoice node. So that's all about the demo. So we'll shift to Faizan will shift to the presentation mode.
Sure, Nimal. I'll just post this answer and then I will come back. Okay. Nirmal, can you please confirm if you are able to see my presentation again?
Faizan. Can you move to the next slide?
Yeah.
Okay. So can you move one more slide above, Faizan? Before this?
Before this?
Yes, yes. Okay. So as part of master data update, so please make sure that whatever the customer or partners you have used as a ship to party, so you have to maintain the GSTN. So if you have maintained the GSTN, then we are considering those GSTNs. If it is not maintained, so we are considering that as a unregistered party. So make sure that your master data is updated properly. So this is the one major change you need to do for the master data update. So let's move on to the next slide. Okay, so these changes, whatever the new legal changes has delivered from the SAP for the private and on-prem system through these two nodes. So please download this latest version of these two nodes. One is related to e-bill, another one is related to e-invoice, and implement. And these new changes will be available in your system. For the public cloud release, so these changes will be planned to deliver by 20th July. So after onward 20th July, you can start do the testing. So related to the baddie, so if there is any specific business scenarios you have for your business, So still you can use these two baddies. One is for the public cloud customer, that is EDOC adapter cloud buddy, and another one is EDOC adapter cloud buddy for on-prem system. So with using this, you can implement your own custom logic, and you can fill the required information, which is before sending to the NIC. So you can use this buddy and you can write your own custom logic. So that's all from my side. Thank you. Over to you, Faisal.
Nirmal, one thing which I would like to emphasize, and maybe you can correct me if I am wrong. In case of master data update, in case of exports, we will pick up the value as URP, right? By default, the
Yes.
value which will be picked up will be the URP, because generally in
Yes.
case of exports, you would not have a GSTIN for the ship to address.
Yes, correct.
Great. So just wanted to emphasize that point. Thank you for confirming that. Then, as you would have seen, these WayBill changes, there have been multiple notifications which have come in from the GSTN at different points of time, starting from 20th of May, and then the latest FAQ has come on, I think, 1st of 2nd of July, what we saw on the timeline. So the changes have been coming in, and there might, we never know, there could be still further changes from the tax authorities or from the GSTIN, or maybe more clarifications. So what we would suggest is to please keep yourself updated. There are two ways to keep yourself abreast of these legal changes which are coming in. One is your regulatory change manager, which is available to you, which you would have access either as a partner or as a customer. And if I may just share that with you. Let's say the regulatory change manager. Okay. So you can see this is the regulatory change manager. And if I'm looking for enhancements in WayBill portal, for which have been announced mainly in June, you can see the different solutions and what are the planned delivery dates. So you would see for public cloud, the delivery date planned is 20th of July. For SAP S/4HANA, and for private cloud, these solutions has already been delivered via SAP Notes, and these have been delivered on 12th of June. Even same goes for SAP ERP. So you can monitor these changes for WayBill portal on the regulatory change manager. Of course, this regulatory change manager is one platform wherein we publish all the legal changes. So if you see, this is the main screen of the regulatory change manager, and I have filtered these change manager for India, and I can see what all are the enhancements which we have published for different legal changes. So WayBill portal is one of the changes, and of course there are other changes which are ongoing, whether it was, let's say, the RSP-based GST for tobacco and related products, or it is something with related to quarterly TDS return, which have been undergoing some major overhauling because of this new Income Tax Act, and so on. So this is your one single platform wherein you can track and keep yourself updated in case there are, let's say, any further changes, even for the specific WayBill changes. We will update this over here, and you can get the latest information at this place. The other option, the other mode for you to keep yourself updated is also there is a central SAP KBA which we have released specifically for WayBill changes. And this is the SAP KBA number 3761875. This is the link to this KBA. And you can, I'll just see if I already have this open, maybe I can show you. Yeah, this is the central KBA. So there also you can see what all SAP notes release, the latest SAP notes you can see over here, and also the solution for SAP S/4HANA Cloud, which will be released on, which will be reaching you on 20th of July. So these are two platforms. So these are two tools or two options for you to keep yourself abreast of any further changes from the government, and then relating to that, any changes from our side on the solutioning side. And of course, there is always the SAP work zone, SAP India document reporting compliance work zone. This is the QR code for that. Please scan this and join this work zone. This is wherein you can also provide your feedback, your inputs. This work zone is very actively monitored by the product team, and we try to respond to your queries with respect to anything, with respect to invoicing, e-way bill, or GST reporting on this work zone. So in case you are still not a member of this work zone, I would request you to please join this. And of course, please feel free to use this work zone also for posting any queries on this e-way bill change, which has been announced and which is getting implemented as of now from 1st of August. Then there is one ask from you, either as if you are a customer or if you are a partner of SAP. So these e-way bill changes are already available in the IRN sandbox system. A request for you is, in case you are a private on-prem or ECC customer, you can already test these changes, because these changes are already available to you as via SAP Notes. So please deploy these changes and share your feedback as soon as you can, especially in case there is some use case which you would like to bring to our notice or highlight that. Please provide that. Please provide that as soon as possible, because from 1st of August, these changes are getting into effect from the production system of the IRN system. So please share your feedback, especially for private cloud on-prem ECC customers. You can share that as soon as, let's say, today, tomorrow, uh, not later by 10th. Please share your feedback. For public cloud customers, the changes will become available to you on I think tentatively they are planned for 18th or 19th. So by 20th, definitely they will be there on your system. Please test out those changes and of course provide us your feedback as soon as you can. Uh, I think that was it. It was a relatively short session, but this is what we had to showcase. We are open in terms of answering your any queries or questions you have. In case you would like to call out your you would like to speak, please raise your raise your hand and we will unmute you and you can ask your question directly over the call.
Yeah, maybe in the meantime, Fazan, do we have any open questions in the Q&A section which needs to be answered?
I see there are I have answered a few. There are still one. There is one question from Mr. Kishore Raut, which is when we can start raising e-way bill using ship to GSTN in PS1 rather than waiting till August 26. So this PS1, Mr. Raut, would you like to clarify what this is? Because on the sandbox system, these changes are already deployed by the GSTN. So if you want to test with the sandbox IRN system, you can test this. You don't have to wait till 1st of August when it will actually go live on your sandbox, on the sandbox system of the IRP. You can already test these changes. I hope that answers your question. Else you can raise your hand and I will unmute you. Then there is a question from Gaurav. Do we have to maintain GSTI and number of port in ship to party in case of export scenario? So Gaurav, as per our understanding, as per our reading of the notification, You don't have to maintain GSTIN number of the port in for ship to in case of export scenario. In case you or your customer or your legal team has a different opinion, please let us know. As per our reading of the legal notification, that is not the case. In case of export scenarios, it will be URP will be the value which will be passed as in the GSTIN field, not the GSTIN number of port. Your ship to address will be the port, but you will not give the GSTIN of the port. It will the value which will be passed as URP. I hope that answers your question. In case you have a contrary view, in case somebody else has a contrary view, especially in context of exports, please let us know. Either please let us know now or later on or in the Q&A section itself. Are there any specific separate notes for ECC customers? I believe not, but maybe Nirmal or Shubham, you can confirm that.
Yeah, but Fazan, I see multiple people have raised their hands. I
Maybe we
sus-
will, okay. Maybe we can answer this one and then we go to people who have raised their hands.
The same notes is applicable for ECC also.
Great. Okay. There is one more question I will take from the Q&A before we go to people who have raised their hands. This is from Mr. Rahul Chaurasia. If I understand correctly, after 20th of July, for public cloud, we do not need to implement any changes in our system. The hotfix will fix the issue and we can start testing. That is also my understanding. Shubham, Nirmal, maybe you can also confirm that is the right understanding.
Yes, after 20th July, it will be available for all the public customers. Public cloud
Thank you. Okay. We still have some unanswered questions. So maybe we will go live in terms of people who have raised their hands, and I will try to keep on answering the questions in writing in the Q&A tab in the meantime. So I see. Maybe Sarvesh Desai, maybe I'll just unmute you and I don't see an option to unmute. Sarvesh, can you try speaking up? Sarvesh, we are not able to hear you.
I think Fazan, there is no option to unmute the participants even we tried.
Okay, let me just see if I can.
So now can you?
Yes, we can hear.
I can. So maybe Sarvesh, you can unmute yourself and can you please try unmuting yourself and
Yeah. Now can you hear me?
yes, we can.
Yeah. See, my customer is implementing 2025 S/4HANA private cloud. Okay, so the planned go live is on in December. So by that time, will these changes be automatically implemented in the public private edition, or do they need to run some program so that these changes, the legal changes, will be available in the system?
So Sarvesh, already we have showcased you the two notes which we have released from our end. So based on the SP you are implementing, if those notes are applicable to you, you have to just implement these notes, and then these legal change will work fine for you.
Okay, and this DR's e-document cockpit is enabled by default, or we configure, because customer is for
This-
third-party GST.
Yeah, the context of like this
Hello?
question is out of context, but still maybe you can raise it via the incident if you are facing any issues for the manage electronic document. It's available in the help portal already. In case you are facing issues, you can raise an incident to the
Thank
company.
you.
Hmm. Yeah, Shivani Nilesh, can you unmute and ask your question?
Yes, you can hear me?
Yes, you are audible.
Yes, I have so many questions. So our client is implementing SAP DRC solution on 2025 version. Okay, we are just wrapping up the conceptual design phase for them. Now, specific to e-way e-invoice will be to bill to party. Okay, and e-way bill will then be to ship to party. So how this would be controlled in the new design which we have?
But both the parties are different in your case, like bill to party will be
Yes.
different.
Yeah,
And then
so I will give you a specific example. If we are transferring an asset to a new joiner employee, okay, then it is getting transferred from Maharashtra location to Karnataka location. So e-invoice will be from business place of Maharashtra to business place of Karnataka, but the delivery location is employee who is an unregistered person. Okay, so now how the scenario would be handled by the new design or law what we
so
have?
understood, Shivani. This case is not impacted with these changes. It was already
Mhm.
working in the existing solution also. So if you
Mhm.
configure properly, the bill to party as separate customer and ship to party as the employee which you are
Mhm.
targeting, automatically the
Okay.
payload will be filled as per the need. The ship to
Okay.
address will be filled
Perfect.
for the employee and bill to will be the bill to party. It will work.
Perfect. Understand. Thank you. And I have one more question. I have raised an OSS, but
Uh, sorry,
uh,
Shivani. If it is
it is
not
with
related,
respect to e-way bill. It is with
no,
respect to e-way bill.
we will not be able to take any general queries related to e-way in this forum. We are specifically targeting related to ship to legal changes only.
Okay.
Via the
Perfect.
OSS
I'll
will
raise
take.
on work zone. That
Yeah.
should be fine. Thank you.
Yeah. Kishore, Braj Kishore, can you unmute yourself and ask the question if you have any?
This is regarding from the 1st of the August, it is a mandatory requirement. You should have shift, you should use the shift to GST number for creating the UABL. Is it possible? It is a mandatory, but you want to do before that, not be till instead of voting till 1st August, whether you can do from the 20th July or 15th July, so that if we have any issue, we can rectify in our system, because we will have multiple issue come when you come to practical start doing this new system. There may be some issue. So is it possible to start creating shift to GSTN from the 15th July or 20th July, like that?
Yeah, I just wanted to know you are on a private cloud, right?
We are using SAP S4HANA.
Okay. So notes are already released. It's up to you
Ah,
that whether you want to implement in production also. We don't see any harm. So once
that I am
your
thinking.
testing is completed in sandbox, you can move to production.
But here you have again two. One is relating to UABL, one related to e-invoice. But there is no change in the e-invoice, na? Change on the UABL. So why you are getting new release for relating to e-invoice? Any impact there?
There is a provision to generate e-way from e-invoice APIs. So in SAP, we have two separate e-documents node, e-invoice node and e-way.
Correct.
So due to this change, e-invoice generation also got impacted. For export invoices, e-invoice also got blocked because in export e-invoice, ship to details were getting filled. So that was also blocked. And even e-way bill generation from e-invoice node is also supported. That's why two nodes are separate. Based
Okay. But
on
you have
what
to
your
okay.
organization are using, you have to implement the node.
You have to implement both, because there is a mandatory requirement. UABL should be generated from the e-invoice, There's a mandatory requirement, then we have to implement both only. Okay, thank you.
Correct. Correct. Rajesh Kulari, do you have any question? You can unmute and ask. Okay. If not, then maybe we'll move to the next one. Akash Tripathi, do you have any questions? If yes, please unmute.
Yes, I am audible.
Yes, you are audible.
Actually, now I am testing the scenario build to ship to case sandbox. I am facing an error build to ship to GST cannot be saved in case of regular.
Correct. So so ideally from the government perspective, bill to ship to scenario can only occur if two different parties are involved. If the shipment is happening to a different party meaning the GST should be different for the party, then only they are allowing it as a bill to ship to scenario. So in your case, why you are giving the ship to customer the same?
There is multiple can be multiple scenario like my bill to ship to code is different, but GST can be same. Bill to ship to code is different, but GST is same and different address can be different. So in all the cases, I have to.
Understood. So from government perspective, they expect that you do not fill the ship to details in this case. Strictly, they have said this. I have already answered this question in one of the Q&A, but maybe Faizan, if you can paste the FAQ link. So in the FAQ document link, which is released by government, you can refer the question 10 there, which explains the scenario. And the resolution is that in this case, you have to fill the ship to address in the bill to address. You cannot fill the ship to details separately. Government will not allow. You only have to give the bill to address.
Okay.
And Akash, you can refer to this Q&A in the we have uploaded this Q&A on the when it was published on the work zone. So you can just go to the work zone and you will find the Q&A, which very clearly says that in case of there's a lot of disturbance, so I will request people who are not speaking or do not have a question to please mute themselves. So so I mean the notification is very clear that in case it's you have the same GSTIN for ship to bill to address, then you provide only one GSTIN, which is which is the you don't I mean you provide the actual address in the bill to address only. So in that case, you don't pass you don't it doesn't qualify as a bill to ship to use case.
Okay.
Yeah.
Manindra, I guess, yeah.
You can unmute and ask the question.
Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
So one more thing is, if we have the one more scenario like dispatch from.
Mhm.
So in that case, we need to pass the dispatch plant GST number.
But are you facing any issue in this scenario currently?
Not yet.
Then kindly try, because there is no change in the dispatch from scenario. It should work as expected, how it was there before. So you can
Okay.
try out. In case if it is failing, you can raise an OSS incident.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we are moving one more attendee, Anju. Just can you unmute, Anju? This is the last question we see. So
Yeah, so my question was, I already asked in a Q&A if there is a bill to and ship to has the same GSTN. So we have already tested this scenario in sandbox system, and it is giving the error that the GSTN should be different for both bill to
yeah,
and ship to. So how this will be managed by the pay? What should be the ideal payload?
so same answer to this. I just explained a few questions back. So government will not allow you to pass the ship to details in case the ship to party is having the same GSTN. So the expectation is only bill to address should be filled and it should go as a regular transaction. Okay. And in case if you have a requirement that ship to address is a must, then they have suggested that instead of giving bill to address in the bill to party, you should give the ship to address. You can refer the FAQ document released by government. Question 10, I believe, is related to this, which explain the same example, what you have explained.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, fine, Fizan. I think we are done. No more questions are there.
Shubham, in the Q&A, I think there are still a few unanswered questions, but maybe in case somebody has posted their query in the Q&A and it's still not answered, maybe you can just raise your hand and unmute yourself and speak up.
Or maybe, Fizan, if they are not interested to speak up, they can post the questions in work zone, or maybe we can collect these questions and answer and post the kind of FAQ from our side in the work zone so that customers can refer. Will that be fine?
Yeah, that will be fine. We still have a few minutes. So in case they still want to take this opportunity, I guess we are good with that.
Yeah, sure. But I don't see anyone raising the hand. Yeah, we have few people now.
Yeah, I guess we have
Surender. Surender,
Yeah,
can you
sure.
unmute and ask the question?
Yeah, do we have a follow-up session like once the updates are rolled on, no? Rolled out, do we have an update session from your side?
It's already rolled out and available in the sandbox system. So once you implement these nodes or once the public cloud solution is there, we don't see a need. Maybe in case if there are issues, you can raise the OSS incidents.
Okay. And certain cases, we will have multiple ship to from the customer, and one may have a GST, one may not have a GST. So hope this works for both the cases.
Wherever ship to customer has a GST, it will be populated. Where it is not having, it will be treated as unregistered and URP will go. And from payload perspective, you will not face any issue. Moving to next, Deepak. Deepak, can you unmute yourself and ask the question?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. In export scenarios, basically we don't have GST number, right? For in that case, whether we need to leave the GST number as blank or we need to pass the value as not registered, and in the status you have to mark it as NOR.
See, for export scenarios, nothing you have to do in the master data. Automatically, the solution will pick as URP, as it is a mandatory field.
Okay, so automatically it will pick us URP, right? Okay,
Yes.
thanks.
Yes. Yeah, Sudhir Kumar, you can unmute yourself and ask the question.
Sorry, I missed out. That's both sold to party and ship to party is having same GSTN number. If system throw an error, what to do?
The expectation is in this scenario, ship to detail should not be filled because whenever you are filling the bill to address and ship to address, government treat it as a bill to ship to scenario. And if it is a bill to ship to scenario, both parties should be different. In such a case, you should remove the ship to address and ship to details full block. And in case you have a requirement to send the ship to address, then that ship to address should be sent in bill to address. This is given by government only. You can refer the FAQ section, question 10. You will get the details.
Okay, in form level, we have to maintain the details. So that was a query actually. Ship to address may For example, ship to address may change, but the name of the customer is same. So if the name of the customer is same, the GST details would be the same. This is
Correct.
the
That's what I'm saying, that from
Hmm.
government perspective, you should not populate ship to details whole block, because they expect ship to detail block whenever two parties are involved. In this case, only single party is involved. Okay, so the expectation is that you fill the ship to address wherever the goods are going into the bill to address.
But while creating sales order, ship to address obviously will come, right?
I'm saying this has to be handled via body. You have to implement the body and handle
Okay.
this scenario. From standard scenario, government expect this should be treated as a regular. Ship to detail should not be filled.
Okay. Okay. Understood. So, okay, done. And in export, few customers are middleware, like the that customer is exporting to some other country. In that such scenario, in export level, there is no tax rate ship to party in these such cases.
Automatically after this notes implementation and the release of the solution, it will be taking URP in the ship to GSM for all export scenarios.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Maybe one last question we'll take because we are running out of time. So we are moving. Yeah, Nahida, can you unmute yourself?
Yeah, hello. Am I audible?
Yes, audible.
Yeah, actually, my question is it applicable for, means if you are using with a third party GSP provider, will these changes will be applicable or how if you are not using DRC?
Does that mean that you are not having the
We are
managed
with
electron?
third party. Yeah, we are with the third party GSP providers.
No, but DRC solution is must, and this is only applicable for DRC solution, irrespective of the GSP. If you are not using DRC, this is not at all applicable. You have to handle at your end.
Okay, thank you. One more question I have. What is means? Can I know what is the use of that e-way bill? Closing the e-way bill, will it impact any? Means why is that app?
So neither this is, I'll take that up. This e-way bill closure is an optional facility as of now. This is basically to bring in more transparency in terms of tracking that the e-way bill whole cycle when it was initiated and whether it was already completed, and yeah, the delivery has happened. So this is more of a this is basically to bring in more transparency. The GSTN has introduced this option, but this is not a mandatory requirement as of now. The GSTN is silent whether what is the plan going forward. Based on the past experience, what we have seen is over a period of time, this will become, I mean, the chances are that this will become mandatory. But as of now, this is just an optional facility. In case your customer or you as a customer want to use it, you can use it. That brings in more transparency to everyone, to the GSTN, to your recipient, to you as a supplier, and to the transporter. But if case you don't want to use it, then from a compliance perspective, we don't see any implications for that as of now. In case the GSTN makes it mandatory, of course, we will also publish it on the RCM, and yeah, then it will become a legal requirement. As of now, this is an optional facility only from the GSTN.
Okay, thank you. That's it.
Yeah. Last question we'll take from Gaurav, as we are already short of time. Gaurav, do you have a question from your end?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. My question is this: you are saying that if the buyer and ship to party having the same GST number, respective the address are different, so we only have to maintain the ship to party address in the buyer, right?
Correct.
And if a client is not satisfied with this, then is it possible to maintain URP in ship to party?
You can maintain, but
And
ideally it will be incorrect, right?
Yeah.
You can maintain from a generation point of view, technically it is possible, but it's up to you. You are technically sending wrong data to government.
Okay,
Deepak,
so that
Gaurav,
means
in this case, you probably need to check with your legal team whether that will be the correct approach, because I mean that kind of information you send it as a URP. I mean that is only in case you are treating it as a bill to ship to scenario.
correct,
Whereas
sir.
technically, I mean it's not a bill to ship to scenario. You are sending it to the same party and it has the same GSTIN. It's only
GST,
that
but
they have
address
an
are
additional
different.
place of additional registered place. So there is a different address which you are giving. So you have to check whether from a legal perspective, it will be the right approach if you just leave it blank and you pass it as URP.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Fine, Filan,
I
then.
guess
Yeah.
we are good. We have exceeded the time limit. So I hope we have answered most of your queries. I see still some hands are raised. I will apologize to them. I will request them to please post their queries in the work zone, and we will try to answer them as soon as we can. Thank you so much for your time and your attendance. And yeah, please, in case you are not part of the work zone, please request access to that. And once you have access to that, you can post your queries, and we will try to answer them over there. I am pasting the link to the work zone again in the chat for those of you who have not had access so far, and you can use this. With that, thank you so much for your participation and for your time. And yes, yeah, look forward to connecting with you again soon. Thank you so much. Thank you and have a good day.
Thank you,
Bye
everyone.
bye.
Bye-bye.